Hello friends, welcome to PyCyber Academy. This is your host Himangsu Pan. Today we are going to learn data type integer in Python. Let's begin with our tutorial. So Python's inbuilt class int is represents the mathematical integer numbers. An integer is a positive or negative whole number without decimals of any length. And in Python, we can create integer instances by calling int function. Here we can see we have not passed anything onto this int function. So by default, Python int function returns 0. If we pass anything, that is 25.5, then it will return 25. Or if we pass like in a string any number like 5 or 7, it will return 5 or 7. And also we have checked in a number with 5 and it returns class int. So we check the type of this 5, the data type, and it shows that it belongs from int class. And integer classes also provide several methods, and we are going to see those methods one by one. So as integer ratio function returns a pair of integers whose ratio is exactly equal to the original integer and with a positive denominator. For example, if we check for integer value 10, so the 10's integer ratio is 10,1, so it returns in a tuple 10,1. We check for minus 10, that returns minus 10,1, and in this example we over here check 27 and it returns 27.1. Conjugate. So function conjugate returns the complex conjugate of the number. And what is the complex conjugate? You find the complex conjugate simply by changing the sign of the imaginary part of the complex number. Thus, the complex conjugate of 4 plus 7j is 4 minus 7j. That means for the number 10, the imaginary part is 0 with a j suffix. So for the complex conjugate of 10 is 10 minus 0j, that means 10. And Python int class having numerator and denominator member methods or properties. So those have the values of corresponding numerator and denominator values of a given number. For example, if a number is like this, a by c, then a will be the numerator and c will be the denominator. And in our example for 5, for a integer number, the numerator is always the integer number itself. Then for 5, the numerator will be 5 and the denominator will always be 1. Python also provides real and image member variables. So in this example, we set a equals to 58 and we find the real and imaginary of this 58 of this variable a. So here real and image are member variables of the instance a, where real having the value of the real part of a equivalent complex number and image having the value of the imaginary part of a equivalent complex number. So here the value is 58. If we take 58's imaginary, like 58's complex number, equivalent complex number, then it will be like 58 plus 0j, then real part is 58 and imaginary part is 0. In int class, we can get 2 bytes and from bytes methods from here. So let's try to understand first what is 2 bytes does. So in 2 bytes function, we can call with a instance of integer class, and it will take length and byte order. It returns an array of bytes which representing an integer, and this length is length of bytes object to use. An overflow error is raised if the integer is not representable with the given number of bytes. And this also like byte order. So the byte order used to represent the integer. If byte order is big, the most significant byte is at the beginning of the byte array, and if byte order is little, then the most significant byte is at the end of the byte array. And what is the signed? By default, the value of the signed is false if we are not passed to true. So it determines whether 2 component is used to represent the integer. If signed is false and a negative integer is given, then overflow error is raised. So there will be exception raised, that is overflow error. Let's see into this example. So a equals to 5 we have set, and we calculate k equals to a dot 2 bytes, where we passed 3 as length and big as a byte order, and we get the byte array object and that value is this. And if we want to convert it to verify that that's byte array is, we can convert onto int or not, so we use from bytes. So int dot from bytes k, that's the calculated value, comma big. So we will use the same, the big one, and we get the 5. Again, I have tested with little. So with a different byte order, that's little. So a dot 2 bytes with a different length, that is 4, little, and it's saved into a variable j, and it's returned like this byte object. And after that I have also converted that from that byte object to integer. So that's for today. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe this channel. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and also don't forget to comment your suggestions or anything. If you want more videos like this, please comment in the comment section what will be the next video you want to get from me. Thank you.